So I'm Marni Walden. I run our global media business. I think if I'm sitting in your chairs, I'm thinking about why is Verizon at this conference and why are they doing a keynote? Most people know us as being a wireless company, but I would tell you we do a whole lot more. But the three questions that I would hope to answer for you after you listen to today is, one, is Verizon serious about being in this space? Two, are they going to invest in the space? And three, do they have the scale to make it matter? And so we will try and answer those three things for you as we move throughout the afternoon. This is my first time at the conference, although I've followed it for a couple of years. And I would say it continues to get larger and larger and more exciting and more creative. I think it's in line with the trends of what's really happening in the video market as well. If you think about those trends, 60% of all millennials think about their smartphone as their very first screen experience. You think about 40% have no TV service or have never paid for TV service. And you've got continuing trends where 60% or better are adopting OTT services. I was talking to my son, who's 12 years old, and I told him I was coming to VidCon, thinking he probably wouldn't know who that was. And he said, you've got to make sure when you see iBallistic Squid, you say hi to him. Now, I wouldn't know iBallistic Squid unless I looked him up. But I think about who my idols and stars were, and very different from my 12-year-old son. So if iBallistic Squid or Stampy Longhead or Ash Stubber in the audience, I need to see you after the speech because I got to get a picture because I'll be the most popular mom of a 12-year-old kid ever. I also think if you look at the trends, similar to what's happening in video, digital advertising is also changing. Digital spend surpassed TV spend for the first time in 2016, and mobile is really driving all of those movements. Now, as you probably know, last week we closed a transaction buying Yahoo and bringing that together with what we will call Oath. And we'll talk more about what that means, but most importantly, it's how we'll answer the scale question. So much more to come. Now, I'm also going to take you on a little bit of a history lesson and take you back in time because we believe that Verizon played a key role, if not the lead role, in where the business and the markets are today with mobile video. So back in early 2000s, there was a 2G network, and that's when you had a flip phone, and ultimately what you could do was talk and text. Verizon, along with partnership with Qualcomm, had the very first app store called Get It Now, and you could get some very primary kind of games on there, maybe a short canned video, but pretty premature. And then you move forward into 2003, 3G networks were built, and that's when you had your first smartphones. And video, for the first time, you could see on your smartphones. It was short form. Sometimes you still had the wheels spinning, but pretty significant move when you think about what that enabled. Now, there was a bunch of people, a bunch of very smart people around the globe, including some in the Valley that make handsets, that said, gosh, I don't know why you would need a 4G kind of network. But Verizon believed that it would enable a completely different experience for consumers and what they'd be able to do on the network. And so we were the first carrier across the globe that launched a nationwide 4G LTE network. And we did that in 2010. At that time, speeds were 10 times faster, and video grew 500% in terms of utilization on a handset. And now as we look forward, the promise of 5G, where speeds will be 100% faster on a 5G network. So you might think about what you would be able to do with that. Okay, now beyond the network though, we have aspirations for what we want to do. We want to build platforms, we want to build applications and services that ride on that network. The last several years, we've been assembling assets, talent, content, and all of the things that we can do to build a digital media company. So it sort of begins with our Fios story. So Fios is our opportunity to offer mobile video or video to our customers that buy our Fios products. And a lot of people said, why should Verizon be in that business? And that was in 2005. We proved that we could do that. It helped inform our video strategy for mobile. And then in 2010, if you move forward, we were the first to partner with the NFL to offer live sports on a mobile platform. We started assembling other assets, like building out a content delivery network where you could do ad insertions, so companies like Uplink, and later you'll see Edgecast. We bought OnCue from Intel Media, which gave us a sandbox to play in, which ultimately led to the launch of our Go 90 platform. And then as we kept moving forward, Fios for custom TV, that was the first skinny bundle announced in the US. AOL gave us ad tech capabilities that we didn't have, and great brands like Huffington Post, TechCrunch, Engadget. It took our reach from 100 million to 300 million. We then launched Go 90, and we learned a whole lot, and you're going to hear a whole lot more about that today. And then we partnered with the NBA, and we brought more live sports content to our mobile platform. Riot, who has a demonstration downstairs, does 360 video production and also part of the media platform. We invested in more content like AwesomenessTV and took an ownership position, and then partnered with Hearst Media to launch Complex Networks. And then we also bought the company Vessel. Richard Tom is actually here in the audience, who leads that for us. Best-in-class product, who took our Go 90 platform and reinvented it, and you'll see that demo today. Vessel is the team that built the Hulu platform, so we have great talent that we've assembled to be able to do that. And now, as we closed last week, we added Yahoo to the portfolio, which takes us from having hundreds of millions of eyeballs and audience to over 1 billion, which gives us the ability to scale. So we're on this journey. We continue on the journey. We're not done. We need to continue to assemble assets, talent, and content. But most importantly, we need to make sure that we've got great partners and creators, and that we're a brand and a company that welcomes that. So I'm going to hand it off to Brian Angelette, who's our Senior VP of Content at Verizon, and I'll be back up to close it out after that. Thanks.
Thank you. So if you just look at that timeline that Marni had taken us through, that's quite a journey. And for anybody that's been kind of watching us casually, it may be hard to see just press release to press release or acquisition announcement to acquisition announcement what the bigger picture and intention really looks like. But I think, as Marni mentioned, with the close of Yahoo, this event gives us a really good opportunity to kind of take a step back and look at the big picture. And so when you look at the intention here, the big picture is the assembly of like a Verizon digital media network. And the digital media network is intended to do 3 things. The first is to acquire and reach demographic diversity. So within each of those properties that you see, there is leadership positions and audience scale for different demographics and content genres. The second thing that we were looking to do is to get geographic expansion. So from a regional content provider to a nationwide wireless provider, all the way now to a global digital platform. Global scale is obviously really important to compete in the new world. And then the third thing was economic diversity. And I think this is what's going to be really important as this evolves in the next several years. So from owning and operating a cable TV subscription, monthly reoccurring type of business, to a large-scale ad-supported digital business, we have kind of the tools and the relationships to evolve into different types of pay models as our industry advances and progresses. So that's a view of the assets and kind of what our intent was. What I'd like to do now is transition to what I think is important for you here in the room, and kind of what what makes this different and what makes this digital media network valuable to creators. And so the first is reach. So the promise of reach. If you look at that combined network and you take a step back and do some compares, the first thing you'll see is that in the US, that network delivers over 160 million plus mobile monthly unique views. So that makes this network the third largest mobile consumption platform in the US, right behind Facebook and Google. But if you actually look at the raw numbers, we're like 3% difference apart. So this is a substantial mobile consumption platform for content. On the right, I think Marni had mentioned, you've got over 1 billion plus monthly views globally. Something that may not be as clear, though, is when you look at just the broad scale of Yahoo plus the very specific targeting of, say, like a complex and the scale there, this platform is actually #1 in reach for millennials. So that's the reach story. What starts to make this more interesting, I think, for content providers is the intent to program. So if you look at programming for a minute, you've got a series of brands there. Underneath that, there is a total of 50 brands represented in that global portfolio. And the intent behind the brand point is that each of those brands has a specific voice and a specific demo that they deliver to. So as a creator, if you've got a demo that you're looking to reach, you can definitely maximize the audience within a particular brand. But what we're finding more and more is that certain providers looking to expand their reach and introduce programming into new audiences need more of a programming hand at play. So it's not just going to be about the algorithmic or content recommendation engine. It's also going to be about intentional programming to build new audience. So offering programming is key. The third is amplification. So as mentioned, #1, with over 1 billion plus reach globally, it's our intent to basically expand and take content and federate it through that entire system in the network. But between syndication and all of the social channels and social reach across all the other discovery platforms, we can reach another 1 billion plus consumers and audience members like that. So the intent here is if you've got a particular piece of content and you want to show premiere it, we can turn on that amplification system to drive tune-in to that premiere. Or if it's a sporting event, and let's say the game's starting to mature and get more exciting as things go, taking a highlight and amplifying it out to drive real-time tune-in is another mechanism and feature we plan to put into place. The last then important thing to note, especially for creators, is that this is a platform for media consumption, not just reach and not just discovery. So if you look at the average minutes viewed across all of these platforms, depending on the channel or the type of content, what you see is between 35 to 80 minutes of daily media consumption. So this is a platform built for the consumption of premium and longer form media. And if you actually look back at our NFL deal and some of our early experiences with NFL on mobile, I remember getting questions of folks thinking that maybe the average mobile viewer would watch about 5 minutes of an NFL game, check in, fill in the gaps. And what we see is actually an average of about 60 minutes of viewing of an NFL game on mobile. So this is definitely a platform for media consumption. The last comment I want to make, though, is really more specific to us here as a community of investment and distribution and creation. And that is that if you look back about 3 years ago, what you saw on pay TV is every generation younger you got, there was less and less engagement on your traditional cable. And what we were also seeing as an ad buyer is more and more dollars shifting into digital to reach those customers. So from that moment, about 2 to 3 years ago, we knew that we wanted to be kind of on the ground floor investing in this new creator community. So we were actually one of the first big distributors to put big time investment behind everybody here in the room. And that came by way of AwesomenessTV and Complex joint ventures, as well as the launch of Go90, which many are represented in terms of licensing and distribution here at VidCon today. So what I'm going to do next is I'm actually going to allow have a couple creators come up and talk to you about some of the ambitions behind their projects and their experiences working with us so far. So first I'd like to introduce John West, who's the CEO and co-founder of Whistle Sports, and again, one of our first founding partners in this new digital world. So John? Great, thank you.
Thank you, Brian. I'm excited to be here today. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Whistle Sports. We're a global media company that was built with and for 13 to 34-year-olds. We partner with major media companies like Verizon. We partner with professional sports leagues and federations, and we partner with brands. Most importantly, we partner with this young generation of sports fans who are consuming sports media very differently from previous generations. So let me tell you a bit about the Whistle Sports Network. We have 2,000 channels across the 6 major social media platforms. We have about 360 million subscribers and fans, and that grows about 3 million each week. Every day, we upload, post 600 videos. Those videos drive 45 million views, which is about 1 million hours of watch time. And most importantly, drive 5 million engagements, likes, comments, and shares. So why do we exist? Because today's generation of sports fans wants a very different experience that's authentic for them, which probably means it's not for their parents' generation. Why does that matter to VidCon? 2 reasons. We're a mobile-first company. 70% of our views come on mobile devices. Last month, we had 1.8 billion views. Secondly, we're social-first. So social natives, really sort of 13 to 25-year-olds, sort of half of our demographic, have grown up with a decade of Facebook and YouTube. And so they have a very different expectation and use case for how they consume sports media. So we are thrilled with our partnership with Verizon and specifically their Go90 platform. We were one of the launch partners for Go90 and basically created 7 original series last year. We've successfully helped expose our audience to the Go90 platform and have seen strong success with that. We're super excited going forward to also announce another series we did called Dunk League Season 1 last year, with 7 million passionate fans, is being renewed for a second year. So we're excited about that. We all know Verizon's been a dominant leader in both hardware and mobile. We are thrilled to see them move into digital the way they have with Go90 and the other aspects that Brian talked about. We think it builds more content, more audience development, and really investing in both of those is fantastic for us, and we think for the whole sector. So we're very excited to partner with Go90, and specifically last year, they helped bring the NBA and us together to create an awesome show called Playoff Pop-Off, which did very well. And I mentioned Dunk League as well. So super excited to be part of the Go90 and the Verizon ecosystem. And I now have the pleasure of introducing someone who I'm excited about. Today, you probably know her. She's certainly a star in her own right. You probably know her from her Go90 show as the face of Planet Earth in 2059, or Victoria Young is her character, but her real name is Anna Akana. Very excited to introduce her to the stage, and come on out, Anna.
Thanks so much. Hi, everyone. How you doing? It's dinner time. We're all hungry, I know. My name is Anna Khanna, and I am the creator, star, and director of Miss 2059. My series is a sci-fi action comedy about a beauty queen, played by me, who accidentally switches places with her twin sister, who was raised by the US military to save the entire world. We are currently in pre-production for our second season, woo, which comes to Go 90 in 2018. Thank you. Yeah, partnering with Verizon and Newform Digital has been an amazing experience. You know, as someone who's used to self-funding my own projects and working with like an ultra low budget, I can't tell you how awesome it is to have the support and the investment of these two companies. You know, I'm used to filming alone completely by myself in my house. I use like this green vacuum cleaner to kind of pull focus as my stand-in, and then I'll run and take its place. And thanks to this partnership, for the first season, I had a crew of 60 people and a 7-figure budget to bring my vision to life. I still use that vacuum cleaner, though. Thanks. One person likes the vacuum. And as much as I really love the intimacy that homemade vlogs can bring and how you can immediately connect to an audience or spread a message, my heart does lie with narrative. I love telling stories, especially when those stories involve me being the most beautiful woman on the planet who's going to save the universe. But being able to offer premium content to my fans is so important to me. Because, you know, as an artist, having bigger budgets and being able to tell longer stories is essential to growing and learning and expanding my abilities. And I think we are in such an exciting time of multiple platforms and distribution models, which means that so many dreams are getting to come to life. And whether your dream is as fictional as making out with a purple alien, or as personally inspired as repairing a relationship with your deceased sister, I am so honored to have the opportunity to make that happen. Thank you.
Okay, so you got to hear from two of the creators on Go 90, and next we're gonna roll a video here. This will just give you a sense of the broader community of those that are creating and distributing through this Verizon network.
When folks ask how has digital media evolved over the past year, for anyone to sit with a straight face and say that they actually know where it's going or where it's heading, I think is delusional.
It has been less about defining something as digital because of the quality, but actually because of all the places it can be available.
And we can make things that are still cinematic and interesting, but on a platform that you can just walk around and carry in your pocket.
It's an incredibly powerful way to engage audiences in ways that have never been done in traditional media before.
I like responding back to my audience, whether it's Snapchatting them back or responding to comments or reading their DMs, and I feel like we have not just a fan connection, it's a friendship.
Go 90 and Verizon provide a great platform for any mobile users. I find that a lot of people don't have time to sit down in front of a TV and watch the shows they want to watch. So something like Mr. Student Body President really works on a mobile platform because teenagers and young adults like myself, we're like addicted to our phones.
Well, Go 90 has clearly made a significant investment in content on the platform that is most impactful to our audience.
The idea of Go 90 wanting to work with me and wanting to help share my passion and what I'm doing in my life is the most incredible opportunity. I'm just thankful that Go 90 is going to be a part of this journey with me.
They give a lot of control and they give a lot of freedom to the people that are creating it to really make it whatever they envision.
Brands that pull all that together in a really meaningful way will be the brands of the future, and Verizon is helping to do that with a new product that brings all those brands into one place.
And they're also really driving the market and being trendsetters for big companies.
And I think we both share a view that young social and digital natives need to be reached, programmed, and engaged in a very different and authentic way.
Where you can mobilize a gigantic amount of people and move those people with content that is really, truly good. And what Go 90 has done, they have focused on truly, truly great content.
Watch Mr. Student Body President only on Go 90.
Watch The Runner only on Go 90.
Be sure to watch Chachi's World Season 3 only on Go 90.
Watch Tag.
Watch Batch.
Watch Batch, only on Go 90.
Good job.
What? This phone doesn't have Go 90?
All right. Okay, so lastly, I think what we want to do here now is transition to the product itself. And so I'm going to invite up to stage Ivana Kirkbride, who's our Chief Content Officer for Go90, and she's going to share a little bit more with you about the product, the content, and the distribution plan for the rest of the year. So, Ivana.
How's everyone doing? All right. I realize I'm like keeping you from drinks, so I will be fast. But thank you so much for the intro, Brian. And thank you to all of our great content creators and partners. We are absolutely so proud to be the platform for their most ambitious creative projects. So thank you to Anna, Kana, and Whistle Sports for being on the stage here, and all of you in the audience as well. It's hard to believe, but we are just getting started at Go90. As many of you may or may not know, we launched Go90 3.0 this past April. The Go90 you see today is a brand new app and site built by the team that created Hulu and Vessel. So welcome to the new Go90 home screen. We are delivering the best mobile video experience personalized just for you. The app features a streamlined UI built for search and discovery on this device. You can now scroll through your feed and explore more of what you love with just the swipe of a fingertip. You can see our content organized into networks, collections, and lists to make discovery of the shows you love that much easier. This is a MoPo, short for motion poster. It's an embedded video loop that highlights featured shows and ads with no disruption to your browse experience. Oh, not interested? No problem. Just swipe through and you're back to the feed. And as featured in Mary Meeker's Trends report, Go90 is the home to the original 5-second ad, uniquely tailored for mobile user sessions. Both the MoPo and our 5-second ads are proprietary ad units pioneered by Vessel. Together, they deliver on a seamless yet delightful mobile video ad experience. Additional updates include a B-bar at the bottom of the bar, where you can easily jump to your profile and favorites. Here are a couple of mine right here. It's also where you can find our brand new live section, which houses our live sports and music. You can check out upcoming events in our easy-to-navigate programming guide, and it gives you access to our 25,000 hours of live sports and TV. That's right, 25,000 hours a year, more than any other streaming platform. These are full games from the NFL, the NBA, and the best of soccer from Copa, La Liga, and the NWSL. Also, full episodes of your favorite TV shows from Viacom and Discovery, such as Mythbusters, all for free on Go90. Most importantly, we know that scaling our audience relies on a personalized yet adaptive user experience. What does that mean? Well, imagine that all the content on Go90 was a delicious ice cream sundae, such as this one. That base of vanilla ice cream represents content from your favorite publishers. Simple partnerships, hopefully with several of you in the audience, where Go90 can serve as an additional distribution point for your content, where we can build even more audience together and deliver to fans more of the content they love. This decadent and enticing chocolate scoop, libraries of premium content. Beloved franchises that, like chocolate ice cream, will draw you in and compel you to indulge on fan favorites such as Veronica Mars, Fringe, and Babylon 5. And the whipped cream and sprinkles and cherry on top, well, these are the ultimate content sundae toppers, premium originals, such as Go90 Hits, Guidance, Tagged, and QB1. But what makes this ice cream sundae truly delicious, to me, to you, to everyone in this room, it's personalization. The new Go90 serves more of what you love based on what you've watched. What do I mean by that? Well, I'm going to share a personal anecdote. Think back to your first experience on Netflix. For me, it was The Ring. After watching it, Netflix said, because you watched The Ring, here are 1,000 Japanese horror movies you've never heard of, but we think you're going to love. And you know what? They were absolutely right. I binged for hours, and there may have been an ice cream sundae in my lap while I was doing it. Okay, haha, okay, so, bad joke. That's the type of discovery and personalization we're striving for. Why? Well, real talk, we have learned a lot in the last year and a half. We saw that our generic 8-channel approach to programming wasn't working. In addition to the 25,000 hours of live TV and sports we have a year, we have over 1,400 hours of exclusive originals. 1,400 hours. But you couldn't find any of it, so it wasn't reaching the right audience. So we took a closer look at the data and saw cohorts of users forming around demo and passion areas. We decided to double down on what was working and really super serve those audiences, which prompted us to think about programming in a new targeted and curated way for the mobile-first audience. So we launched 4 brand new networks. Go90 Saga, which is our network for sci-fi and genre. Go90 EXO, a network for empowered young females. Go90 Zone for diehard sports fans. And Go90 Session, which is our counterculture and lifestyle network programmed to inspire the next wave of cultural disruptors. Over the past year, we also learned a lot around episode formats. We saw another trend forming around these formats that resonate with the mobile-first generation, premium mid-form. So Netflix and Hulu are dominating binge watch of content that's 30 minutes or longer, and TV is doing the same for appointment-based viewing. Meanwhile, social media portals and YouTube are dominating the 10-minute and under space. There's a gap in what we at Go90 are calling premium mid-form, right smack dab in the middle, or the 10 to 30-minute format. And we are finding this to be our sweet spot, like an ice cream sundae. We conducted a study with UCLA Anderson that found that the mobile-first generation is spending more time watching videos throughout the day and on the go during the week. The mid-form format is the perfect length for these regular downtime watch time periods. Outside of long-form content, there's really a void in quality scripted originals for younger audiences. 11 minutes, however, is long enough for a story, but short enough to consume. You'll see that our hit shows, such as Guidance, Tagged, and QB1, are anywhere from 8 to 18 to 30 minutes long. Premium mid-form is winning with our audience, and now it's starting to attract critical attention as well. Our unscripted series, Young Guns, from Rated Red, just won a Banff Award. Additionally, many of our shows have been nominated for Streamies, Webbies, and WGA awards. So we at Verizon and Go90 are going to get behind our shows and our partners in a really big way here and invest in the recognition they deserve, whether that's a Webby or a Streamy or an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, or Tony. And you'll get this along with it. And to further that endeavor, with the close of our Yahoo acquisition, we are thrilled to announce that we are also going to offer production resources to all of our partners through our brand new Oath Studios in Playa Vista. Launched in 2016, yay, all right, yeah, that deserves a clap, come on guys. Launched in 2016, it's a world-class facility with top-of-the-line sound stages, VR capture stages, editing bays, TV control rooms, everything that you as a creator need. We want to help you achieve your most ambitious creative goals, and we want to be a part of that journey with you. And here's my last special announcement for all of you in the room. We have just signed a multi-year deal with the Warner Brothers Digital Networks Group that will serve Go90 and its newly established networks with premium originals. The deal spans the entire WBDN portfolio, including brands like Machinima, Stage 13, as well as Blue Ribbon, the digital series production unit of the Warner Brothers Television Group. We're pleased to announce that our first show, Snatchers, launched today. And we're gonna give you a first look here. If you love the trailer, be sure to check out the rest of the series only on Go90. Thank you so much.
Oh, how far along are you?
A day.
I've changed a lot this summer.
You didn't just go to sleep last night and wake up 9 months pregnant.
Maybe Loverboy came back with an illegal alien.
Whoa.
It's pretty great.
Okay. All right, so I'm not going to keep you much longer from drinks, but I'm hopeful that we answered the 3 questions that I teed up in the beginning. So why Verizon? Are we committed and investing in this space? And do we have the scale to make it matter? And then finally, are we open to the partnerships, which hopefully you saw that. So, and it's not just about Go90, it's about taking all of that content across multiple platforms that can reach many audiences that Verizon has invested in. So I'll end with inviting you all to join us for a reception right across the hallway, and hopefully that cocktail glass of wine that you've been waiting for. So thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Best of luck. Appreciate it.